Welcome back. In this lecture, we will learn to share delta table data in an external location with other teams. So let's start. Let me go to my workspace, and in my home directory, I have set up a notebook for this exercise. So as usual, let's connect a running cluster so I can execute code in this notebook. Let's do the cleanup. So we set up a clean environment for this demo. So cleanup is done. Let's do some setup. Basically, I'm creating a catalog, a database, and creating a data frame. Now we are ready to do the exercise. What is the requirement here? The requirement is to create an external location and share data in delta format at an external location. So other teams maybe outside your project could access that data from an external location. So how to do it? There are two parts of it. First, create an external location and then save your data frame as a delta table or in delta file format at the external location. So let's start performing both these steps. The first step is to create an external location. And as we know, creating an external location requires an credential. So you can go to your catalog explorer and look if we already have some credentials. So come to external data tab and storage credential. I already have a storage credential. Basically, this is the storage credential that is automatically created when we created the Databricks Access connector. And this is the name for the storage credential. Usually when you create a connector, this name is automatically created. You might see a weird name which is automatically generated by the Unity catalog. So you can change the name as you need. So you have a rename functionality here where you can change the name. So idea is to give a credential an appropriate name which you can memorize or which you can remember. So this is the name that I already gave to my storage credential. This is the storage credential, Scorana storage credential. We will use this storage credential to create an external location. We already learned that we can create external location using Catalog Explorer UI from this button in the earlier lecture. But now we want to take it as an opportunity to learn how to create external location using code. So let's come here and write code to create external location. How do we create an external location? Simple. It's a kind of DDL statement. Let me change the cell type to SQL and then create external location. Create external location. For safety, you can use if not exists and then give a name to your external location. Let's call it external data. So that's the external location we want to create. But for creating an external location, you have to supply two more things. What is the URL for your external location? And what is the storage credential you want to use for that external location? So let's give the URL, and in URL should go in a single quote or double quote as a string. But what is the URL? URL should be created in the format of file qualifier. So we want to create external location in the Azure cloud. So this is the qualifier for Azure Cloud. So ABFSS :/, and then we specify the complete URL for the external location, which is in the format of container name @ storage account name. So what is the container name? Let's go to my Azure portal and see what container do I already have. So I'll come to my storage account, look for containers, and in earlier lectures I already created this container. So let's create an external location in this container itself. So we come back and tell the container name @ storage account name. What is the storage account name? This is the storage account name. So we use container name @ storage account name, and then we supply the Azure storage account rest of the URL, which is like dfs.core.windows.net. So that's the URL, and we go to root directory, which is like this container. So I can use the entire container for creating an external location, or maybe we can ask for a directory in the container. So we create an external location which points to the external directory in this container in my storage account. So that's how we can give the external location, and then we need to supply the storage credentials. So how to give the storage credential? So we can use with storage credential. Storage is optional, so you can simply use with credential, and here you can give the credential name in a pair of backticks. So a pair of backticks. And what is the credential name? We created a credential here which is already there, so I use this credential name, and that's all. That's the DDL statement for creating an external location. So let me try running it. Okay, so looks like it worked, and if it worked correctly, I should be able to access this URL using maybe %fs. So let me do an ls, but we also need to make sure that this directory already exists in my container. So let's go there, look inside the container. There is no directory for external, so maybe let me create a directory name here. This is the directory name that we want to use. So this directory is there. Now let's try to access it. It works, nothing is there, and that's obvious because we just created the directory. There is no file in it. So we successfully created the external location. Now what do we want to do next? We want to write our data frame so that we can share data in the external location, at the external location, for other teams. Other teams can read it from there. So I already have a data frame here. Let me try to save that data at the external location. So I'll try to write my code inside the pair of parentheses and data frame. How do you write that data frame? df dot write, and then maybe format. We want to make sure we are writing data in delta format. So format is delta, and then maybe mode, we can give overwrite mode, and save it, right? And for saving, I have to supply the location. And what is the location? Location is this URL at which we created the external location. So we cannot use the external location name I have to use the URL. So let's use the URL here. It's like this, and that should be all to save the data. But I know that when I save a data frame to a location, it will create n number of files, and those n number of files are always equal to the number of partitions in this data frame. So I don't want to unnecessarily create too many files in that external location. I know this is a small data set. So maybe before the write I can use coalesce method and try to coalesce it to a single partition. Uh, Coalesce is efficient, it doesn't go for a shuffle, so I can easily coalesce it. And now let's run it and see if it works. So it's writing the data at the external location. Once it is written, I should be able to access it. So let's prepare for it and let's verify. Once this is done, I can verify. It's done. Let's verify what we created at this location. So it's done. We see delta file is or delta format data is created at the external location, and delta format data is created in two parts. The part one is the data. So we see the actual data is stored as a Parquet file. So delta table or delta format behind the scene stores data in the Parquet format, Parquet file format. So this is your data, but it is delta table. So delta table or delta format data will also create a underscore delta log directory, and inside the directory it will store the transaction details. So we will investigate what is there inside the delta log in a later lecture, but for now we wanted to create a external location and share our data at the external location so other teams can access it from the cloud directory or from the cloud storage container. So we are done with that, and that's all for this lecture. See you again in the following lecture. Keep learning and keep growing.